Sorry ass DJ.
Hey everybody, how you doing out there? And welcome to my next ranking video of the big three. I am doing the part 2's only here. And just in case if you're someone who has not got a chance to see the original big three ranking there, definitely check that out whenever you get a moment there. Why I'm actually doing this is about 3 months ago, I ended up having my fans and my subscribers to do a little bit of voting on the big three about what was your favorite of the originals all the way up to the remake. So there were 9 overall, so there'll be 9 videos. And I decided I wanted to actually give my opinion about where I would actually rank all the big three individually. So I'd be kind of curious what you guys, how you would rank the big three of the first sequels here of part 2. If you would like to do that, give me a comment down below and we shall discuss it. Okay, let's get started. Number 3, the worst of the big three part 2's for me is A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 Freddy's Revenge. Not a fan of this at all, but what I do actually enjoy about this is you got the character Lisa, the love interest to Jesse, who looks like Meryl Streep. I mean, at least back then, maybe she still looks like Meryl Streep now after, what, 40 years. She does really good. I like her story. I probably is like the only part I really enjoy about dialogue and any of that kind of stuff. She's really, really good in it here. I definitely do like the way that this first 5 minutes of the movie actually starts on a school bus. I think is really, really cool there. And the final thing on the likes has got to be whenever Freddy comes out of Jesse's body. I really did like the practical effects on that there. On the flip side, talking about Jesse, our final guy, our main character, I think he's very dull. He's very boring. I don't give a shit about anything that's going on in his story. I don't feel sorry that Freddy's haunting his dreams and trying to come out of Jesse's body to get into the real world, which I mean, I'm in that boat where it's so ridiculous about how Freddy could just come in the real world like that there. And the whole thing at the pool party that people really, really do like, I'm not a fan of it myself. I just think it's just kind of really stupid. And just because, you know, you try to get people trying to negotiate with this person, thinking that he's just, I mean, I get it that they have no idea who the hell this person really is and what their parents did to this person. But I was just like, don't try to negotiate with him. It's almost as bad as that professor and Jason actually, how famous you are. Hey guys, he just wanted his machete back. Okay, he's a killing machine. That's what Freddy is too. The rest of the characters, I don't really care other than Lisa's. When it comes to Act 3, you got like Lisa walking into the boiler room, but just before that, there's like these 2 dogs with human baby faces. And I'm like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? And that's just a very weird thing. And they don't even do anything. I think they growl at her and all that. They could have taken those dogs and just took them off the set and just had her walk in. That would have been perfectly fine there too. You got Freddy, who I think Robert Englund still does a decently good job. The makeup is really good. And there are moments in this movie where he can be very, very scary. But what trumps all of that is actually how much of a fucking pussy he is when he's about to die. You also even get a scene in Act 3 where Lisa goes up to Freddy, kisses him on the lips just for his body to crumble and Jesse to actually come out of Freddy's body and be rescued because of a kiss. It's almost like Beauty and the Beast to a point, or even like King Kong, like oh, Beauty killed the Beast, and I just don't like that. I think it's really, really stupid. And even like the last like 2-3 minutes after Freddy's dead and they're back on the school bus there, and they tried to do a 1-2 punch with that beginning and that end, and I'm like, nah, the ending was like almost nothing in my mind here, and I didn't even really care that much for the deaths. Going on to number 2 is going to be Halloween 2. I really do like the way that this movie starts off, your little recap at the end of John Carpenter's original Halloween and transition into Act 1 in Halloween 2, I think was really, really cool here. You get the very beginning credits with the pumpkin, and the pumpkin is slowly opening up and it shows a skull in there, and out of all of the beginning credits with Halloween, because not all of them do that show a pumpkin. This has always been one of my favorites on that there. Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis is, at least, I'll say this, he at least has enough to do to actually put him still in the likes here. I mean, he's still a good actor. When he still talks, you still are listening to what he's going to say, because again, maybe not as good as John Carpenter's Halloween, but to a point, when he's opening up his mouth, you're like, wow, he's not just spitting out something stupid and something that we pretty much already know, though we're still getting a lot of good points out of him. The movie is actually gorier in this one than it was in the original. The hospital scene is very creepy, and I really do like the ending. Very great stunt with Michael Myers caught on fire. But on the flip side, you got Jamie Lee Curtis back as Laurie Strode, and for about 95% of this movie, she's actually in a hospital, not just always in a hospital bed, because there are times where she's walking around and running away from Michael Myers, but she really has not a whole lot to do in this movie. I'm glad that she's back in this sequel. There's just nothing interesting going on with her plot and her point of the story. Michael Myers, I think there are moments he's scary, but overall he really isn't as scary as we had in, again, John Carpenter's Halloween. There's times where he walks a lot like Frankenstein, so he's walking very stiff, and I think it works more for Jason Voorhees than it ever does for Michael Myers. I'm not expecting Michael Myers to run, but I don't want him to be walking as slow as a turtle, in my opinion. And even though that the movie actually has a decent amount of gore, and there might be one or two decently good kills in this here, overall I was very disappointed with the kills. And my number one will be Friday the 13th Part 2. Now, not only would Friday the 13th Part 2 is leaps and bounds better than these other two sequels, is leaps and bounds better than the original Friday the 13th. And yes, it's the exact same story to a point there. You got characters in here, I would say probably except one, that I love all the characters. It doesn't matter if you're like a background character and maybe you don't even have a single line. I like almost every character. I like the story. I like the script. I thought Steve Miller directed this very well. Our final girl, Jenny, is, again, leaps and bounds better than our final girl from Alice, honestly, for how dull and boring that she actually was. I mean, Jenny, the way that she finds ways to take on Jason and trick Jason and all that, I think was really interesting. And her putting on Mrs. Voorhees' sweater to pretend that she was Jason's mother in Act 3, I thought worked to a point. Not 100%, but I really did enjoy that. I thought the kills, for the most part, were really, really good in here. I just enjoyed, like I said, Mark, the character in the wheelchair. I liked Vicky a lot. But on the flip side, definitely a character, Paul. I cannot stand him. I think his acting was the weakest. I won't say it was completely terrible, but it could have been a lot better, in my opinion, there. And then we also kind of get, towards the end of this movie here, a dream sequence like we kind of did in the first one there, and I'm just like, well, been there, done that already, and I think it worked a lot better in Part 1. Probably one of the only good things I could say Part 1 never did better than Part 2. But there you guys go. There is my ranking of the big three for Part 2's here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys for Part 3 whenever I can. Have a good one. Bye.